The agenda is supported as amended. But before we proceed with the meeting, let me start by introducing the members of the REC for the benefit of those that do not know them. I will start with myself. I am Nomalanga Stole. I'm the chairperson of the REC and as well as the CEO of NESA. I sit on other subcommittees and committees of the Energy Regulator, as well as the Energy Regulator itself as a board that regulates the energy sector. On that note, I'll also introduce Mr. Mkhize, who is the member of this committee as well, and the chairperson of the Petroleum Pipeline Subcommittee. He also sits on a number of subcommittees and committees of the Energy Regulator, and he is a member of the Energy Regulator as the board of NESA. Mr. Mkhize, will you kindly greet everyone that has joined us for this meeting?
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Greetings to you, all in attendance, as well as the members of the public that are following us through the various live streaming platforms. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mkhize. I believe Ms. Maseti will be joining us. She may be struggling a bit with connectivity. We then move on to the first item on our agenda for the open session, which is an item on the quarterly report on registered generation facilities that were approved in the first quarter of 2025-26 financial year. Mr. Matebula, if you can assist in introducing the item or guide us as to who from your team is going to be leading the submission. Over to you, Rob.
Chair, good morning, and good morning to the RSC members and also to my colleagues who are on the call. And thanks, Chair, for the opportunity. We wanted to appraise the members on the progress made with regard to the registration of generation facilities. And Chair, this is to comply with Section 7(1)(a) of the ERA that states that no person may, without a license issued by the regulator, in accordance with the Act, operate any generation, transmission, or distribution facility. So, Chair, maybe let me allow my colleague, Ms. Sanele Zulu, just to give the details specifically on what transpired in the first quarter of this financial year. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Zulu.
Yes, no, thank you very much, Chairperson, and thank you, EM, for the introduction. Good morning to you, Chairperson. Good morning to the members of the REC and NESA management, colleagues and members of the public. Chairperson, the purpose of this submission is to request the REC to note the quarterly report on registered generation facilities approved in the first quarter of 25-26 financial year in terms of the standing instruction number 9 of the electricity subcommittee delegation matrix. So, Chairperson, since the inception of this registration regime in 2018, we've noted, Chairperson, that NESA has registered over 2,000 generation facilities with a total capacity of about 12,757 megawatts and a total investment cost of about 293 billion. So, Chairperson, during the first quarter, NESA has registered 111 generation facilities with a total capacity of 1,916 megawatts with an investment value of about 52 billion. And Chairperson, it's noted that during the first quarter of 25-26, NESA processed the applications within an average of 11 working days, which is an improvement, Chairperson, of about 4 days when compared to the first quarter of the previous financial year. So with that, Chairperson, we recommend that the REC note the quarterly report on registered generation facilities approved in the first quarter of 25-26 financial year in terms of the standing instruction number 9 of the Electricity Subcommittee Delegation Matrix. I thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Zulu. We're looking forward to a period where we do this generation facility much lesser than the 11 days that you have indicated. And do note and appreciate the fact that there's been an improvement with 4 days. And let me then see Mr. Mkize Jr.'s hand is up. Let me take him first, Mr. Mkize, before I can allow you to come in if you have any points to make. Mr. Mkize.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson, and good morning to yourself and to the member, Mr. Mkize, and our colleagues on the call. Chairperson, I just thought I should highlight also the fact that we registered a hydro facility in the first quarter of 2025-26, which I consider as a highlight because hydro is a form of baseload that the country is in need of at this point in time. Because in particular, we are having a lot of solar PV and wind under the registrations category. So I just thought I should mention that, Chairperson, as something that is quite unique. Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for that highlight. Mr. Mkize, any questions, issues of clarity, or points that you believe the team could consider in enhancing this particular report or their process? Over to you, Mr. Mkize. Senior.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and thanks to the presenters, Mr. Zulu, Kize, and the EM, Mr. Matebula. I note, for example, that you've got Golden Frontier Citrus on hydro. I also note that you've got Aquinion in the Western Cape on solar PV and battery energy storage system. I just would like the team maybe to apprise us in terms of, I would say, the system state of vulnerability, or what this means. I'm looking at a case where you've got almost 2 terabytes. I'm sorry, terawatts. I mean, 2 terawatts of this renewable energy generation, and then one is as capacity, and then one say, what does it mean when you've got, for whatever reason, an unavailability of such? Maybe a third of such or half of such. What does it mean? We know the challenges that we always refer to as the issue of the dark curve and all of that. But just to understand what this means, that would be one. And then 2, I note that there is a registration here. Those registration fees, I think, it's time maybe that they be revisited. Because you see there's a proliferation of this, which is good of itself, but also needs to be understood in the context of the whole socio-economic situation. And then 3, I know it's not necessarily within our purview in terms of maybe the investment where it went to, but we've got 52 billion investment cost, almost 52, 51.9, billion rand. Then the question is, where is this money being channeled to? I think it would be good to know where this money is flowing to. in terms of the capital where we're spending, just for people to understand. Sometimes we talk about these big monies, which sometimes they don't have, people don't relate to such. They see them as big numbers, but they don't see really how they translate to. I think if you can also assist. The questions that I've asked, I know they're not for response here and now, but it's something that maybe you can put some effort to then come back to us. And then I must also say that with regard to the team, in terms of the registration, I think 11 days needs to be uploaded. It's a for this kind of registration, the projects that you're talking about, you go register anything in other institution. I don't think that a 11-day period will be still seen as bad. It's a good period. Always we strive to improve, do things expeditious, but really this should be uploaded, especially also considering where we come from. So big ups to the team. Well done. Really, we congratulate you for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mkhize. Mr. Mkhize, I don't have any issues with this submission other than as well to echo the encouragement to the team of the improved turnaround times. And we are always seen as being the bottleneck in some of the processes, but let's also record it in future reports, so that we can be seen that we are really improving. And if there's no improvement, we're still remaining at 11. Let's also look at what could have cost us to be at that same number instead of reducing it. That will be appreciated from my side. Mr. Matebula and your team, you may respond to Mr. Mkhize's question. And I think maybe I may come in just to give a comment on the issue of the registration fees that you said it must be revisited, but you can also respond to it. I'll be responding from a different angle. Over to you, Mr. Matebula.
Chair, thank you very much. I think as you indicated, I will leave the registration fee and allow you to comment on it. But I think I'm aligned in terms of it being re-looked at. And we take note of the improvement in terms of the registration timeframe. I think it's a challenge that is well accepted. We will endeavor to look at ways to continually improve on this matter. And I wanted to talk to Mr. Mkhize talked about 2 terawatts, but I think we are still within the gigawatts space at the moment. So at this point, I think the facilities themselves, they are indicating that we have 12.7 gigawatts, which comes with these facilities being registered. Obviously the unfortunate thing is that the availability of these megawatts into the system. Some of it's obviously registered for personal consumption. So what that means is that it takes away the burden from the grid at a certain time based on obviously the availability. To give an example, when you are referring to a solar a PV rooftop, for an example, it will be very useful mostly during the day, unless the facility has got a backup battery system, which can then also support during cloudy days and as well as in the evenings when the sun is no longer there. So that reduces the burden on the grid. And I think this type of initiatives actually play a bigger role in also ensuring that South Africa can avoid load shedding. going forward. So for me, I think this is a great move by households and small industries, the likes of shopping malls, shopping centers, to take the load away from the grid. And this is also obviously allowing the biggest provider of electricity, which is Eskom at the moment, to also have space to can conduct maintenance on their plants, which continuously assure us of reliability going forward. So the other issue, I think, Mr. Mkiza, you spoke about it. You spoke about the vulnerability of the system. However, I'm aware that there is a process to obviously curtail these megawatts. To give an example, there will be times where you have got too much wind in the early hours of the morning, and which can affect your frequency and risk obviously collapsing your grid. But based on our curtailment program, you are able to curtail that wind and take only what you need at the time in order to keep the grid intact. So those programs are available within our transmission operator system, and I believe it assists in that regard. So yeah, that I think I can leave it there for now. And maybe if Mr. Mkize Jr. has got additional comments he would like to make, I think I can allow that opportunity. Thanks.
Chair, maybe just to also add that what has also contributed immensely to the reduction of load shedding is that during the day, Eskom is able to to fill up the dams on the hydros, seeing that there's more than enough electricity due to solar PV, as well as the fact, Chairperson, that our peak hour demand has reduced quite significantly lately. We are sitting at around 25 gigawatt peak for the morning, as well as around 29 gigawatt for the evening peak. So this has then immensely reduced load shedding because the hydros are then able to come in during peak hours when there is more capacity that is required or demanded. So the renewables are really making a difference in that regard, Chairperson. I will end at that, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Mr. Mkize, your hand is up. You may come in. I will come in on the issue of the registration.
No, thanks, Chairperson, and thanks for the responses. Sorry there for the slip of the tongue to move from Giga to Terra, but irrespective, I think that from my side, of importance is when we've got this kind of a report, they reflect on the issues raised. As I said, I'm not expecting an in-depth response on these matters, particularly one that deals with the system, as well as the registration and where these funds, the figure of the 51.9 billion as to where it goes, because I expect that should come out of also interactions with the department, like the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition. But as long as that is taken into account going forward, and that there are at least some responses that are in depth in this regard, I'll be covered. So as I said, I still must say that the team did well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mkize. Just on the issue of the registration fee that needs to be revisited or looked at, I just wanted to highlight the fact that the issue of registration fee, it's part of the financial sustainability strategy that the finance department had developed, and we are at the stage, or they are at the stage where they're implementing it and they are in discussion, or they did start the discussion with the DMRE at the time when we were reporting to them, but they have now started as well discussion with the DEE, as well as a national treasury, and this is done through the CFO's office and her team. And the intention is that it needs to be really looked at with speed, because it would assist in the financial sustainability of the organization. So there is progress that is going to be provided through the finance subcommittee, and the reports thereof will go to the ER. However, if there is a verbal update that is needed, I think the CFO can provide it and can be indicated in the closed session in future RSC meetings. I hope that would suffice in terms of giving a response on that. That there is work, and it is work in progress. Mr. Mkhize, thank you. Are you fine with that, Mr. Mkhize? I take it you are fine.
I'm fine. I'm happy to.
Yeah, that there is work being done and it's work in progress. Thank you. We then move on to the recommendations, since there are no hands that are coming up. Mr. Mkhize, the recommendations are on page 3, paragraph 14, and that the RC should note. The report is, I'm just sorry, I think I'm on the wrong platform. Mr. Mathieu, just assist me. I was on a wrong submission in my documents. The recommendations are on page. It's not page 3. It's page
6 of 9.
Page 6, paragraph 14.1 is that the RC notes the quarterly report of the registered generation facilities approved in the first quarter of the 2025-26 financial year, in terms of the standing instruction number 9 of the electricity subcommittee delegation matrix. I do support, but let me also allow members to indicate by show of hand that they support the recommendations. Mr. Mkhize. Thank you. Don't see Ms. Masetti. So the submission, ELR team, it is noted. We then move on to the next item that is for noting. It's under the regulation of the petroleum pipelines industry. It is item 7. It's on the evaluation of the Total Energies Market South Africa PTY Ltd's audited RFRs for the period 1 January 2024 to December 2024. Please, may we be guided on this particular submission. Over to you, Ms. Mtwa. Just present and indicate who's going to guide the committee through the submission. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning, members and colleagues and members of the public. This will be introduced by Mr. Mahlangu, as you have highlighted. It's a noting of the RFRs for Total Energies Marketing South Africa for the year January 2024 to December 2024 for the listed facilities, 8 facilities. Mr. Mahlangu, if you can please kindly take the members through and guide them towards the noting. Thank you.
Thank you, EM. Good morning, Chair, members, colleagues, and members of the public. Section 3.4 of the Petroleum Pipelines Delegation Matrix, approved by the Energy Regulator on 26 October 2023, empowers the Regulator Executive Committee to note the evaluation of annual audited regulatory financial reports. According to Section 7.6 of the RRMs, Volume 1, the annual audited RFR should be submitted to NESA within 6 months after the financial year end of the licensing. Therefore, Total Energies is required to submit its RFRs by 30 June of each year. NESA received the RFRs on 29 May 2025, which was 1 month before the stipulated timeframe. This is after various engagements took place between NESA, Total Energies, and the Total Energies auditors. The engagements were necessitated by the inconsistencies noted by NESA regarding the terms of the engagement and the fees payable. NESA requested Total Energies auditors to effect the necessary amendments before the agreed upon procedures are signed off by NESA. I would like to further highlight to the RC members that the Total Energies RFR submission includes an analysis of 8 storage facilities licensed by NESA. I would like to further highlight, Chair, that in terms of the analysis of performance, Total Energies facilities mostly experience a decline in revenues due to the loss of the mining and commercial customers, as well as that the number of sites were inactive, retail sites were inactive in 2024 compared to the 2023 period. Noting the background provided above, we hereby recommend that the RC knows Total Energies RFRs for the period 1 January 2024 to 31 December 2024, which are duly submitted in compliance with the requirements of the RMs Volume 1. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mahlangu. Mr. Mkhize, any questions, issues that you may have on this particular submission? From my side, I have none. Okay, Mr. Mkhize has indicated that he doesn't have any as well. I would like to request that we move on to the recommendations, which are on page 14 of 38. And the recommendation are that the REC notes the Total Energies RFRs for the period 1 January 2024 to 31st December 2024, and that these reports were submitted in compliance with the requirements set out in Volume 1 of the RRMs. And I do support the noting, Mr. Mkhize. Thank you. And the submission is noted. And that was the last submission we had in terms of our open items for discussion. Let me thank the members of the RC and members of management who are assisting the committee to really consider the submissions that were before it in the open session. And may I then thank everyone who had joined us for this particular session, and declare the open session closed. And IT kindly assist in stopping the streaming.